Hey, Davis here. Unfortunately, I'm going to be missing this next adventure, but I'll still be haunting you here in the intro. So You Want to Be a Hero is made by and for ostensibly mature adults. Be advised that it may contain violence, sexual themes, and strong language. Full content warning may be found in the episode description below. Now please, enjoy So You Want to Be a Hero presents Wrym and Reason.
Welcome to So You Want to Be a Hero presents of Wrym and
Reason!
With you for the last time as the Master of Ceremonies, I'm John Garza. With me always are Emily Robinson,
Ciao.
Laus Weindel,
Salve!
and Brad Silman.
That's me!
Hey.
All right, guys, we're in the home stretch. It's the last session. Are you guys excited?
Yeah!
So excited, John.
Very, very
Bring on the death and
excited.
destruction.
Bring on the death and destruction.
Wait, hold on.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
Are there doors in this episode?
No.
There better not be doors.
I got rid of all the doors.
I'm gonna be pissed if there are
Florence
doors.
is nothing but open walkways and curtains. Right? I got rid of it all.
beautiful.
Okay, cool.
Good.
Oh my
Good.
goodness.
Thank God.
It's gotta make it nice and easy.
I do have to make it nice and easy because we are really bad at doors, as it will turn out.
Me specifically.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speak for yourself.
Speak for Emily.
Please, John, speak for Emily.
Could you mansplain my relationship to doors to me?
Please.
What is mansplain, John?
Well,
Ooh, a man's gonna mansplain. A man mansplained a man mansplaining.
I am just not. I'm gonna nope out of this.
John, where'd you go?
Disengage.
John, where did
John, come back!
All right, guys, we're back in Aurora. We got Trevor and Forte in their own personal adventure.
This is gonna go real well.
I'm super.
Yes,
I'm
because
super
I'm
glad.
so stuck in the Italian accent, I cannot pull up for it right now.
I'm
What
not
is it?
doing
It's
that.
my British, right? It's my British.
Alrighty then.
Perfect.
Everyone knows how this works. Go ahead and roll me a d20. The highest will get to roll a d100.
It ain't me, y'all. That one.
Hey,
Hey.
I'm not the worst.
6.
Hey, I'm the best. 12.
All right, give me a d100.
All right.
Alright, and on a good note, Emily.
D100.
And on a
Roll
good
the
note.
D100.
D100.
58.
58.
58.
Character? Player.
He's player.
Player 3.
All right.
Fight!
Ooh.
Finish him.
All right. This question.
Yes.
Is, if you are ever have you?
Bachelor number 1.
Yes.
That's number one.
That's me. Yes.
So, has there ever been a time in a game where you wanted to engage in PvP but didn't? Who was it and why?
Oh, it's Davis. 100% Davis. Every single fucking time, it's Davis. I can think
I
of.
knew this was the end.
I can think it's the weapons draft. We could do Lena, right? Lena cutting off my fucking finger.
So to be fair, that PvP did happen.
Yes, and I wanted it to
What's
happen.
an instance where you restrained
Yourself, yeah.
Well,
That was actually Davis initiated PvP, as I recall.
yeah. So
I mean, to save their life. But
Yes. No.
let's think about that then. I mean, I'm just gonna say it is probably something to do with Davis.
That does
It
seem
is
likely.
always
If it's not
something to
Davis,
do
it's
with
me.
this.
But
I bleep that name's out. That name. Beep.
That's real life.
No, yeah, I think it would have been Davis. I don't have a specific moment, but that's the closest one that comes to mind. Yeah, no, because
You hate
no, I don't hate Davis.
Guys, you heard it here first. Brad
Okay,
said he
okay.
hates Davis.
You ready? You ready?
Yeah.
Initiate PvP. Episode 6 of Wrym and Reason against Davis. If I could have,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
if it would have been on my own terms and in my house, I would have Shadow Blade, Green Flame Blade, and then okay?
All right.
Summon
fair.
a greater demon.
Brad
I'm
has thought about this.
I'm not gonna lie, that is very fair.
Long
Valid.
and hard. Yeah.
Thank
Valid.
you.
Valid.
Very
Valid.
fair. Very
Loss?
fair.
Validated. John. easily.
Which one?
During our deleted episode of Aurora.
Are we gonna?
The
deleted
Are we gonna
scene.
mention that? Are we gonna mention that?
I mean, it's a real moment that happened.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, do we want that? Like that we actually recorded an episode, removed it, and then they know that now?
Who cares?
Well, I don't particularly care, but
No, I mean,
Guys, we edit this show because we want you to actually enjoy it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know that's a weird motivation, but it's what we got.
what we got. So
True,
go ahead.
True.
Go ahead.
Um,
I believe it was episode 6.
episode
Aurora.
6 of Aurora. John, it's a deleted episode 6. I believe it was
Deleted scene.
Deleted, yeah, right.
Yeah, it
We
wasn't
didn't
the whole
delete
episode,
It was
yeah.
just
No.
the ending. John made some decisions that I did not agree with, and I restrained myself from striking back. And but then that just ruined the scene entirely, so we decided to redo it. Not John's actions, but the actions of both of us.
Well,
And,
I think
we
the
all.
reaction.
I think it
failed
actually
in that
all
scene.
spiraled because we were just shocked by what I did. No one responded.
Do you want to say
Like
what you
the
did?
game died. Oh yeah, the scene died. Sorry, not
the
the game.
scene died. Yeah.
Yeah.
The game was fine.
Yes, I shot Laus in the foot.
Yep.
And I know that's like in a fantasy setting that can sound minor, but in that moment it was major, and it was supposed to be an expression of anger and distrust.
Right, because I believe this was after you guys, after the spider fight.
Yes, we had just limped back from having a building collapse on us, and some of our souls
Maybe episode
sucked
7.
away.
And my memory was still
Yeah.
pretty much wiped.
We were all in a bad place.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, no, it was a very dark scene to begin with, and then I shot him in the foot, and it shocked everyone, and it turned into like an in-game fight, like
it turned
characters,
into
and then an
I was gonna say
out-of-game
an
fight.
in life,
Yeah,
and
and-
in real life fight. Like,
yeah.
I think the original ending, I stayed silent pretty much during the outro.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
Yeah.
But then we talked about it the next day, and we were cool because that's what friends do. They get mad at each other, and then they talk about it like motherfucking adults. So just throwing that out there for those listening.
Yeah,
Be a fucking adult.
Yeah.
You just talk to somebody you have a problem.
you just talk to someone, Davis, about Chili's. Just talk to someone.
Not us.
A therapist.
Yeah.
And
a
maybe Brad.
professional. No,
Okay.
Don't
I
talk
would.
to me,
Don't bring it
Davis.
up with Brad.
Don't
Okay,
Davis,
so-
if you do that, I'm gonna. Emily, I can't even now. Emily, please, just.
Yeah, Emily, it's your turn.
Oh goodness. I'm gonna go with an off mic game, unfortunately. But I worry that I'm an asshole to play with, and I'd really try not to be.
Shut up, John.
God.
With varying degrees of success.
God. That's why Lost chose John.
I'm listening, Emily.
So sometimes I get very in my head about wanting to let the other players in my group do something and be creative and just have a plan, and I want to trust them, and it's just gonna be okay. So we were gonna scout this mansion where Brad's sister had been kidnapped and was being held. And Davis said, "Don't
Davis.
worry, guys.
Not me.
I got this. I have the perfect plan."
You weren't around. It was just me and him.
Well,
I believe, right?
Well, no. We were all there together. And in character, Davis said, "I have the perfect plan. I've got this." And in character, I thought, she's got magic. This is going to be like invisibility. I wish I had the invisibility spell, but I bet she does.
She was a bard.
Yes, she was a bard.
Persephone.
So it's a brilliant plan. How could that go wrong? How can you fuck up with invisibility, right?
Right.
So I didn't ask questions because Davis specifically said he didn't want to reveal the secret. He just had a brilliant plan. He wanted to do it.
God,
I
this
said,
is the
okay.
Best one.
And Brad said, okay. And Brad and Davis's character went off to go scout. And they got close to the house. And Davis unveiled his plan of polymorphing Brad into a bird. And it was after that happened that John and I exchanged a look and said, you know, Brad's not a druid. He doesn't get to keep his mental stats
No.
when you polymorph him into a bird.
Guess what? As
He's just a bird.
and as somebody who has never, at that point in time, played a full spellcaster, just martial classes for the most part. I mean, Ronzo was a cleric, but not on that kind of level of spells, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know what the fuck polymorph did, and I said, okay, that sounds fun. And then you guys told me that I'm a bird, so
We went on
And
an
then
adventure.
I believe you rolled a d20 to see how much you were able to remember of your mission.
Yep.
And then you spent an hour chasing mice in the field.
I don't think. I think I was flying.
It was only like 10 minutes of mice, and then you got inside the
It was
house.
at least 20 minutes of mice.
Because you were
That
like a
was
giant bird.
Big chunk of
I was
time.
like a hawk.
Yeah, you got inside the
It was
house,
fun though.
Yeah.
causing havoc.
Here's the
And
thing,
you wanted
though.
to fight Davis in game?
Yes.
Okay.
In game.
It almost
Out of
killed the
game.
two of you, if you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It when the
God.
polymorph ended, and the whole house was on alert because a hawk had just flown through this house. Yeah, all of the
Oh,
plans that we
man.
had going forward on how to rescue the sister were immediately defunct because they knew we were there. So that was fun.
Since Davis isn't here to defend himself, I would like to say, anytime this happens though, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And
no.
it makes the
It's-
game
no, it's a
so
great
much
story.
more fun.
Now
I
that I've
love
had
it.
time to process it
Now
and
that 2 years
emotionally
have passed.
remove myself from the situation,
We're good.
it's great.
All right, John,
I love it.
I just got a question.
Yeah, what's up?
What about you?
What's the time when I wanted to PvP someone?
Yeah.
Ooh. It's always this. It's always the same answer that you bleep out the name to, right?
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Because no one's truly like I'm kind
That's
of
true. I've had stories where you were like, I'm going to.
yeah.
Davis used to tell me stories where you'd be like, I'm going to ruin this.
Oh yeah. So because none of you have ever made me so mad that I wanted to PvP.
Thank God.
Except
me
for
as a
that one
DM.
time you shot.
Well, like
Laus
as a
in the foot.
DM, sure, but you're playing a host of bad guys. I'm supposed to hate you.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of like I whitewash that. That's not the same. Right?
Can I throw in just a suggestion?
Yeah, go ahead.
Of the Sinestro one shot, where
No, because I shocked John with that to where
No,
he couldn't
so
process for
I
like
was
3
trying
days.
to trying to stay in her feelings at
yeah,
that moment,
Yeah.
but John loved the fuck out of that.
Great.
Right?
Right?
Isn't it so good?
No, like I like internal me was like squeak, and then external me was like I gotta be pissed right now, but it's gonna be real hard for me not to be like smiley because that was just like it made my backstory, like it perfectly circled it, like the betrayal. I was like, oh yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the stuff.
That's
So yeah,
honestly-
that didn't piss me off to like.
Never recorded, hands down, best in-game decision I've ever made. And I planned that, like, I think before the session started.
That sounds great because it was wonderful.
I was
It was
like,
beautiful.
I'm holding on to this spell just in case something like this happens, and I'm just gonna BAM!
Yeah.
I know no one's gonna understand this, but for us, this was good.
Cool.
When last we left the clan of Medici, they had procured an item of untold importance. A copy, or perhaps the original, of the Divine Tragedy. A story, a book, as old as time itself, keeping the chronicles of the fates, the stars, and creation. A book that holds the answers to their salvation and eternal life. Coming together, the three of them pouring blood. Right, not counting Dante. Pouring blood into the book. They were able to bring forth a spell and awaken it, and gain knowledge of ages past, including their own history and a treatise of how celestial, demonic, and leviathan creatures could be killed, bound, or banished. While going through the book, they discovered a missing page, one that contained the spellcraft needed to create the celestial barrier that separates the lower and upper planes from our own. Taking very little time to figure it out, they came to the conclusion that Salviati has stolen the page to use it for his own nefarious gain. Though procuring this book did not come without a price. During the excursion into the catacombs and the repository below the cathedral, Luna Serena, the Jinn of the Far East, was lost in a fit of rage that came over Bartolomea, in which she struck her comrade with one of her psychic daggers in the presence of the divine tragedy, reducing her head to red mist in the process, killing a needed ally and key piece in her brother Giovanni's game. But at least not all was lost. She was able to steal the staff of Moses and destroy it, and procure a few other divine artifacts that have yet to be identified, but will surely come to light when the time is right. And so, we fall back into the world of rhyme and reason. As we look upon the family holding this book in the early morning of the day before High Mass and Easter, the ordination of the would-be, Archbishop of Florence, your brother, Baldassare Medici. Magic still flowing through it, you all release the book as it crashes to the table with a solid thump, and you all retract your hands. But in that exact same moment, you watch when you all release, the book has a backlash of magic that strikes Dante and sends him flying, crashing into the back wall as the masonry cracks under the sort of heaviness of the blow. And you watch his body hit the ground, unconscious, leaving the three of you and the book alone in your dining hall. What would you like to do?
When you say alone with the book, is it still readable?
Yes, it still has text. All of you can see a small cut on your hands where the blood has truly come from you to form the text.
I would like to read how to kill an angel,
Sure.
a demon, right? Because it's the angels, demon, and leviathans.
Celestials, demonic.
I want to see all three.
Sure.
I want to know. I want to know our weaknesses.
Your weaknesses. I love it. So, we're going to have our first roll of the game.
Of the entire game?
Well, of this game. This
I
session.
would like to assist as well.
To assist.
All three of us are assist. Oh, Klaus, come here. Assist.
Oh, I'm just gonna roll all my dice then,
Perfect.
and just whichever one's the best, right, John?
Yeah, sure. So, how are you assisting your brother? Just so I have a picture of what's happening in the room.
Emily, you wanted to go first? You want to assist first? Or do you want me to assist?
I would like to assist in an investigatory way. Having seen my brother Baldassare reading from the book, seeing his hand move, I've latched onto certain sections and analyzed
So, like helping him translate, picking out key words or symbols.
the organization of the book, so I know roughly where to look.
I like it. Go ahead. Roll with advantage. Let us do religion or arcane.
Okay. Fuck yeah, baby.
Fuck yeah, baby.
Let's see. Arcana. Religion. Same. 19.
Wow, that's a pretty good roll.
That is.
Yeah.
But knowing John, it doesn't beat a specific DC.
I mean, 19 is pretty good.
Listen here, sourpuss.
So as you turn the pages,
You watch yourself.
I will.
as you turn the pages of the book and begin to hunt, you find that there are actually only 2 sections. There is only the Celestial and the Leviathan. As you move through and look, the way to banish and kill a Celestial has alternate arcane sigils and options, depending upon from which plane the Celestial hails.
Son of a bitch.
I like options.
It is almost as if the writer viewed them as one and the same, the demons and those above.
Makes sense. Oh, I see. So, then for the angels is the same as the demons, just depending on which plane they come from. So these symbols over on the right side of the chart is for the angels, and these symbols on the left side of the chart, these are for demons and devils and what comes from the planes of hell and the planes of heavens, as the humans like to say.
And as you look closely, and I'm going to say you're close enough to what I had pictured as the DC, you do see that the power of the sigil and the requirement needed to use it to bind or banish is very much tied to how strong that celestial or daemon is. You can see that the amount of magical power required to truly banish something of a higher order would be a hard-pressed task for most. On the Leviathan side, you're looking for ways to kill them, though. Angels appear to be resistant to most mortal weapons and mortal magics, specifically radiance and necrotics. As you read through the book, you can see that their lower legions, such as the planetar and under-ranked angels, can be harmed, though they are very quick healing, and that with overwhelming physical force or magic, like everything else, they can die, but it is very difficult. Demons have exactly almost the same profile, with the exception that radiant has been replaced for fire. They're resistant to that. But they are not, as you would have expected, vulnerable to light. They are just simply damaged by it. Now, Leviathan is an extensive tapestry of different types of beasts. But what you come to gather is more that this book doesn't have a singular way of killing, but a set of weak points, ideas, and ways to hunt, track, and bind them. There is more focus on capturing them than killing them. So you don't see anything out of the ordinary there.
Interesting.
Yes. It appears that this book is more focused on preserving them than the other section that you looked at for the Celestials and the demons. Or daemons.
Is there any evidence of what purpose they would be put to once captured?
Not in this book, no. At least not with the 19.
Fair. Do you see this part about us? Is less about killing us and more about capturing us and binding us. We are a commodity in this book.
Well, at least Salviati does not have information on how to kill us. Is there anything we can reverse engineer from these traps?
I do not know. The binding. Mental binding? Physical binding?
For
binding
you,
to will?
which for the Celestials?
For the Leviathans.
For the Leviathans. It is a physical binding to a location, and then you do see ones for mentally binding them to somebody else's will. But all of these spells take quite a bit of time. They look like multiple days of casting, some of them.
On the plus side, if only Salviati knows who we are, most of these cannot entrap us unless he has been doing this for many, many days. My concern is that he has been doing this for many, many days, and if so, binds one of us to
Roll me
his
wisdom.
will.
Roll me wisdom, Emily. Baldassare. I'm sorry, not Baldassare. Bartolomea.
If he binds one of us to his will, then we will have to turn on each other.
Is it a save?
Not by choice either.
Or just
No, it's just memory. It's like it's a memory check is all I'm doing.
8.
I'm not gonna be able to help you.
I'm aware.
Okay.
If only we could remember something. Oh well.
Sometimes I feel like
now.
I feel like it all falls on me at the most odd and irritating of times. That's right. Throw fingers, John.
Oh, I will. I'll be throwing away more than that later.
Is it? Remind me. Today is the day.
The day is the day before. You have one full day before the ordination ceremony will begin. Easter is tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I wanted to give you at least a day to prepare.
Thank you.
Bartolomea, you are book smart. These glyphs, wordings for the angels,
Yes.
is there a way you can transcribe them quickly for us to have on hand for a safety precaution?
Can I use investigation somehow to...
This is so arcane that it's not even funny. I'm so sorry.
But there's a book. It's a book right here. And I have other books that I can cross-reference. It's like a research project.
Right, but you're trying to memorize a spell from a book.
What? Not memorize?
Write down?
Transcribe.
Yeah, you still have to transcribe. The arcade is required here. I'm so sorry. I don't see a world where
I don't think you are sorry.
Baldassare, you're part arcane. Would you be able to help our sister?
Sure.
Okay. You do have the book in front of you. And I would say with you rolled a 19 in arcane already, right?
It was in religion.
It was in religion? Okay, so never mind. If you would like to roll arcane now, please do so with advantage as your brother is helping you.
Okay.
Baldassare!
That's me.
Yeah, I love that.
$11.
As you look at this book and begin to transcribe the arcane sigils, it's very clear to you that simply writing the sigils down and then trying to use them at a later date is not how magic functions. There are specific papers, specific materials, specific ink. The way that it is written, replicating this is not something that a spellcaster without years of proficiency can do. If you want to be able to cast that spell, you need to bring the book.
Hang on. I have the book.
The spell appears to be powered by a conduit from the caster through it that makes the magic work. This book is blood magic.
So it's sort of like a scroll.
except it is pulling from whoever's touching its.
So whoever
vita.
casts a spell from it loses life.
Correct. It became apparent when you were. It appeared that Dante, unconscious in the corner, was bearing the brunt of it when you cast.
This unconscious Dante fellow. How unconscious are we talking?
He's barely breathing. It looks like it almost killed him. But you feel fine.
I make eye contact with Bartolomea. And I glance at the other book hanging from the hip of Dante. And then I look back at Bartolomea. And I look back at the other book. And then I look at Baldassare. And then I look at the book. And the nearly dead Dante.
I'm almost scared to say anything because I'm rolling so badly, but what do I know about Rakshasa?
Knowledge history. Let's just see.
I'm gonna help.
Sure.
Because we were in the same brood.
Yeah, absolutely. I could see
Or
that.
we're actually brothers and sisters. We're related. We've seen things before.
What the?
Double 4?
Double 4.
Emily, I brought an extra pair of dice.
It doesn't matter.
I'm like,
It's me. It's not the dice. It's me.
Can
No,
you
that's
just
a
choose a number? Just say one out loud.
Can I?
no. No.
Unfortunately, that's not how it works.
Fuck off. I don't want to hear it again.
We don't know any Russian.
You don't know any Rakshasas. This is the first one you've truly come into contact with.
In the book, I look for a reference to a Rakshaka in case they're a demonic figure.
As you look at this book, roll me investigation. This is the first time investigation is going to be the...
Can I investigate? It doesn't matter. I can't roll.
Save them, okay?
Nothing. Whole load of nothing, John. That's a 7.
Can I flip to the index?
There's no index.
Sometimes we either need to make a decision to kill this thing and take his magic, or let him live and try to be on our side.
All right. I am
He metagames out loud.
Baldassare.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to cast. I have to pull up. Forgive me, D&D Beyond. I'm going to cast Shadow Blade as a bonus action.
Sure. Happens.
You see shadow emit from the chain that is wrapped around my wrist. And I'm going to walk up to Dante.
Yes.
And I'm just going to straight into the chest of Dante with the Shadow Blade.
Absolutely. Just roll to see if you crit. That's the only thing I care about.
You have advantage.
I mean, yeah,
'Cause
you
he's
do have advantage because he's
prone and unconscious.
Yeah.
It's a 4 and a 14, so no, I do not
Okay.
crit.
Either way, the crit only changes the description. As you push this shadow blade into the form, you watch as the last bit of magic that was holding this human form shift and begin to burn away as smoke and ash begin to fill the air. You can almost you all cough as it begins to fill the room before the form ignites in fire and burns away to nothingness, leaving nothing there.
I open a window.
Yeah.
His
very-
other book is gone now.
It's very smoky in
Oh,
here.
the book is gone.
See, another failed plan.
I do not know what you are talking about. Wow, why am I sounding like TK today?
You
Hold
do
on.
sound like Don Carnage.
I did not tell you to kill him.
You looked at me, you looked at her, and you looked at the him, and you looked at her, and you looked at me, and you looked at him.
Yes, you are the cleric. You are the healer of the group. We bring him back. We have him on our side. We still have, however, this book in front of us.
So which pawn do you want to sacrifice for this one? Well, either one of us need to do it, or we need to find another strong magical being. I don't know, maybe like a little... Wait, no, she's dead. That's right.
If you do not trust me, I will take hold of the book then. And I will sacrifice my own life to cast these spells
Insight.
and be my own pawn. What are you trying to find out?
I'm trying to see if you're telling the truth.
Of?
I'm trying to see if you're hiding anything from us. Like, if this is...
Gotcha.
It is a 12!
No. No. I'm legitimately offering to take control of the book. You're just looking at me so accusatorily.
Probably because you're gaslighting him.
Probably. Roll 12, bud. I will take control of the book if that is what the two of you wish. That's what you're getting from me.
Sister, do you trust this? Do you want him to take the book?
You are both my family, and I trust you implicitly. And I also don't like letting go of a book. Those are two unrelated statements.
Bartolomea, I will leave the decision up to you if you so choose that I am the one to take it.
The bell rings in the distance as the hour has passed. The day is moving.
Let me finish my sentence now. I leave the decision up to you. If you wish for me to take the book for this upcoming, hopefully nothing, but this journey for Baldassare to become the bishop, I shall do so, and you can leave it in front of my door. Otherwise, I trust it in either of your capable hands.
Let's just talk plainly. We have one day before this induction ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
And we assume it's a trap, yes?
Very much so.
100%.
So, let's plan. The book can be part of the plan, but I think we need something a little more...
Concrete?
Yes.
Well, this is what I am thinking. Is we will not be together. At least Baldassare will not be with us. Yes, he will be on the altar. I do not expect, if they are doing a trap, they will not do it until either after he is ordained or during the middle of the ordination. It will not happen in the beginning, which means you and I will be sitting next to each other in the pews of the church, and Baldassare will either be back behind the altar in the tabernacle area, or, like I said, it will happen on the altar itself. We will not be near him. We can surround ourselves with Pietro's men and Pietro himself, but you will be next to Salviati. And you can have Theodore up there with you, but I cannot throw a multitude of guards up there. I can only have them escort you to and from the church.
I'll take it.
The escort?
No, the book.
Oh, okay.
I'll take the book.
You're the most magically inclined, so that makes sense.
Well,
Just don't...
Let Salviati get his dirty hands on it.
I'll hide it underneath.
that, or lose it, or use it up in the process. I just want the book back, that's all. That's all I'm saying.
Are you sure you don't want the book? You are very particular about your books. Luna died so you could get this book.
I got another book. I got 2 books.
What is the other?
I want to keep them both. I haven't had a chance to look. I've been trying to figure out the other items. It has been a week, all right? It's been a difficult week.
Very fair. I knew you got the lamp. You destroyed the staff of Moses. I don't remember the book.
Yes, there was one last book she grabbed on the way out, randomly off the shelf,
Gotcha.
if you remember.
I do remember now. Thank you, God.
No.
Thank you, narrator.
Yes, much better.
Pardon me, I believe I need to go to the church and see if there's anything I need to get for my ceremony tomorrow. So Theodore and I will head out. I will leave the 2 of you to plan what it is you're going to plan. Let me take that back. I'm going to leave you 2 to plan what it is you're going to plan.
Do you not want to be a part of it?
You can fill me in later.
Oh, fuck this. Sit down.
No,
Yes.
I have better things to do.
I don't believe you.
You don't believe me,
I think
yeah?
you're being a petulant child.
Well, remember, without me, you couldn't read the book.
I know.
Okay?
I think there's no reason for you to be a petulant child other than you are angry with your brother and I.
Not you.
Do you want me to admit failures? Would that make you rejoin this family?
No.
Then
I
what
don't
do you
care
want?
about your failures, sister. What I want is action. I'm going to the church to see if I can find any matching glyphs of this. To see if they are trying to capture us in any way, shape, or form before we do this. And while we sit here and plan, our time is wasting.
Well, why didn't you just say that? You said you were just going up and leaving and going to the church. You didn't tell us why specifically.
Do I have to tell you everything?
It's going to help us plan. If we know why you were going there. You just said you were going to get some stuff to be
It
ready.
literally, what you're doing is part of the planning process.
Honestly, it's a great idea.
Don't look at me. I'm not part of this.
You're
I'm
having
just
a
watching.
yes. I think you should do that. You're right. Time is wasting.
Thank you. Think about what the 2 of you want to do. If they have been planning, I'll let you know as soon as I find out anything. If they haven't, then we need to think of something else.
Very well.
Baldassare begins to walk out.
All right. Baldassare makes his way to the dining room door.
And Klaus comes with.
Yes, sire. And he comes up behind you, melting into invisibility for everyone else but you. As you step through the door, Theodore is already leaned against the wall, waiting for you. He immediately straightens up and looks to you. I'll get to carriage. And he pops to and quickly makes his way outside to get the horses from the stable. And you have a few minutes by yourself. Is there anything you want to do before we sort of move back to the room, and then you'll make your way to the church?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Just waiting.
Sounds good. We're gonna move back to the room. You immediately, after about 5 to 10 minutes, you hear the horses and your brother make their way out in the distance, quickly fading before it's just the 2 of you.
We need to ensure that it's our people inside that church.
Yes.
And
I
we
will,
need to ensure that they are loyal, regardless of what they see.
Pietro and his men, they only speak to money. We need to be able to prove to them that we have the money, because our darling brother signed all our money away.
He signed
What was
the
owed
Medici
to us?
money away.
Well, are you saying I did not want to take from that, but the ends do justify the means? Care to follow me to my room?
Lead on.
We head up to the Medici room, my room.
Yeah, Giovanni.
And I cast a spell and a part of the wall moves off to the side. And in it is a small portion of, let's just call it my hoard, like a treasure. if
Just
you
a
will.
little cash.
Over the years, I've been collecting a multitude of things, ancient maps. You notice that they're all kind of like world related. And I grab from it a sack of coins. And I go, these are a special sack of coins that I was going to give to Baldassare after he became the bishop. But I feel like these would be better suited now for Pietro's hands. I know, it is a sack of silver coins. 30 to be precise. Bloodstained. But it is a not so holy relic. Worth a decent amount.
Would Pietro understand?
He understands money, and when he understands the worth, I think he would understand.
All right.
So I feel like we can buy him with that. And we fill the hall with... You know Salviati's filling it with his people as well. So we need to fill it with our people, as you said. And we will have him take his mercenaries and put them in, not our colors, but in the normal humans'
Yes.
clothes.
Simply enthusiastic townspeople.
Yes.
Excited
if anything,
for Easter.
we will dress them up in their finest clothes and see if they have leather armor that fits underneath to protect them as best as possible.
Indeed.
And that should put them to our side.
And then, when Baldassare returns, the two of you will determine how best to use the book.
I will be honest, I do not think he will be talking to me. He does not trust me, and at this juncture, I do not know if I can fully trust him. Only because of his lack of trust in me. I do not know how I cannot turn my back to him. Like, I do not know if I can turn my back to him and he will not stab it.
I don't think we can the luxury of worrying about that.
Correct.
So,
Perhaps you shall talk to him. He trusts you more. He said it in the room.
more is not much.
But
I think we need to show trust and hope that he remembers who he is.
And how do you propose we do that? I mean, I tried when he came back. I had the empty chair next to me with a cup of wine as an apology offering, and he grabbed the chair, dragged it away, and poured his own cup. So I'm sure right now if he was with us, he'd probably put his hands to his eyes and put them in an up-down crying motion.
That's exactly what Brad's doing for everyone.
Shut up, John. The point is, I do not know if this is repairable in the next 12 hours.
Well, it has to be.
I do not know what to do. He is. You've seen us interact.
have.
Every time we have interacted now, it has been in front of you. There has been no secret side interactions happening.
I'm aware. And he disappeared for an entire week, which stole any possible time we could spend repairing the relationship. So,
Then he came back and we did the book, and he has left again.
he killed a Rakshasa. That's quite impressive.
Yes. We could have had him on our side, but killing him, it was not the worst idea either.
In hindsight, we should have removed his book first, but
That's on us.
I did not realize he would self-immolate.
Me neither. But I know nothing about the Rashakas, so. Well. Shall we sit down and make plans off
We
screen?
shall. Indeed.
I think that's a great idea. Wonder what's happening at the church.
The crowd is smaller today as people are preparing for their festivities and for Easter and the beginning of that sort of repentant cycle. Carnival's last night was yesterday. You've moved into where people are beginning to be more conscious of their activities and more pious. They're not out and about yelling, drinking, and boisterously yelling the love of Medici, but you can still see people with deference move out of the way of your carriage, pray, raise rosaries, and so forth towards you. As you quietly sit there, you have a driver this time, as Theodore is sitting inside the carriage with you. And do you look pensive or dejected, or what is Baldassarre's current demeanor?
He is pensive in this moment in time because he's got a lot on his mind, and he does have a rosary, and he's just kind of like fiddling with one of the beads on it while looking out the window.
Father Medici?
Yes, Theodore.
Are you all right? You look adrift. I'm sure the ceremony will be beautiful tomorrow.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm just a little concerned about what the future's going to hold after that.
Well, I would imagine only good things for the new bishop of Florence.
Yes, but who knows where things will take us? Will I stay in Florence? Will I leave? What will happen to my family? Things like that. Change.
Change is always worrisome.
Who's our driver today, Theodore?
I think that's Thaddeus.
Thaddeus.
We just hired him. But I've seen him around. He used to sort of work some mercenary gigs. He's one of Pietro's men, I'm pretty sure, that came in on the last boat.
Mercenary. Okay, wonderful, wonderful.
No, don't worry, I can take him.
Oh, I know you could.
Are you worried that something will happen tomorrow? Is that why you are so concerned?
If something were to happen to me, I need you to promise me something.
Anything, but know that nothing will happen to you without something happening to them.
Protect my family if anything happens to me.
Of course.
Thank you.
You can see his brow furrow. He's a simple man, but he recognizes someone that almost seems resigned to a fate. And you can tell he's worried. As you arrive at the cathedral, the first thing you notice as you arrive is that the cathedral looks different. Changed.
What looks different, John?
There's a high, arching, stained glass dome above the whole center piece of it that has almost, it looks like different scenes of the creation. 7 in total for the days. Each one represented with a different mural of stained glass. I mean, it is beautiful and immaculate. Astounding in its creation. To curve the glass like that is like nothing you've seen sort of in this generation. And it was not here over a week ago. And as you look at it, you can tell that the place is being prepared. There are beautiful pieces from the church's collection of polished gold and silver at the outer edges, and the large marble steps that lead up have been covered in this glorious sort of red rug, and there are Templars throughout watching, protecting the public that is usually allowed in is not being permitted today. As you can see inside, there are many priests, deacons, and other people of the clergy moving about, preparing for the ordination ceremony tomorrow. And would you like to walk in, or you just, what's your plan, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, right now, I see the dome that has been built since I've been gone. I've been gone for a week.
Yeah.
So this is new.
And that's fast for architecture.
Oh, it is so fast for how massive it is.
I would like to either, at least for this moment in time, I want to see if the glyphs, or I want to see if there's any kind of, what do you call that? If there's any kind of things that match the glyphs in that we saw. Frescoes?
I believe that's the phrase.
I don't know. But I just want to see this dome, right? I want to look at what I can see, because obviously I probably can't see the entire thing.
Oh yeah, you're pretty far away, and it is, like I said, on the top of this cathedral, which is truly a massive structure.
It's
right?
on top of it.
Yeah, it's
I'm
the
with
roof, right? It's so you'd have to go in to see it from within.
Scratch that. I would like to go in.
Okay, yeah. It's just super hard to see, was all I was trying to say. You make your way up the steps with Theodore right on your hip. And the Templar immediately lets you in. They recognize you on sight. You're still wearing your robes. They don't say a word. They just let you walk in. You walk in and you see that along with this expansive dome that has been made, a lot of the sort of side desk and confessionals and things of that nature have been moved out of the church to provide more rows of pews to allow people to come in and view the ordination. And up on the dais, where usually the bishop is giving the mass or speaking, giving his sermons, there is a brand new altar that has been erected of this beautiful, pure white marble. It's been moved back from where the first one was, so that it's directly underneath the dome. So it cascades this rainbow, almost Joseph Technicolor light down over it. Well, that's how I pictured it in my brain.
Great description.
Thank you. And it is covered in this beautiful red, what looks like just cover, and has these 2 golden crosses on each side and candles. You know that, and there's a censer behind it that is slowly lit, burning with this cleansing smoke. But there are people all around it preparing and moving, and a heavy wooden chair that is off to the left, where you know the Archbishop Salviati will be seated when you are to be ordinated, or when you go through your ordination.
He's getting ordinated.
Yeah.
Getting ordinated.
But you now have 2 sets of stairs that lead to that altar instead of 1.
Okay.
And this beautiful marble mosaic of the parting of the Red Sea now separates the mass of the church, like the rest of the church, from the altar.
Okay, well, as I'm in there and I'm seeing everything being erected and pushed aside and everything like that, first thing I want to do, pull out a little vial of holy water.
Absolutely.
Open it up. And I dab it on my hands, and then I give it to Theodore to hold.
He holds it, puts it in his pocket.
And I wipe my hands, and I begin to pray in Latin. And I am protecting myself from good and evil.
Sounds good.
Okay.
That happens. And anyone who sees you immediately stops and holds still so that you have perfect silence while you...
Then as I finish, Amen. And I continue to walk directly down the center. I look up, I'm looking around, and at this point, I would like to see if I can see from the glass dome that was erected or anything in here that resembles the arcanes. Obviously, I haven't transcribed it, right? So I don't know, but I'm just looking for something that resembles it.
I'm going to give you a choice of rolls here.
Okay.
You can do perception, which is going to be harder.
Yeah.
You can do arcane, which will be a little more specific in what you cite and what you find out.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can take a couple hours and truly investigate, which may draw attention to you. But the DC will be lower, and you will find out more. If you roll well, right? Like, I gotta cover my bases.
I'm going
Yeah,
to...
don't roll like me.
Didn't say that.
I'm going to do arcane.
Okay.
Because they're both the same. And I feel like that's probably... You said perception's a little harder.
Perception is a little harder than arcane, and investigation's easier than both.
It is a 12, but...
Dark ones.
Dark One's blessing.
Yeah, I knew you would.
D10.
You're calling upon the Dark One's blessing in the church, just to be clear.
Yes.
Okay.
But I am protected from good and evil.
I understand.
That was a smart move.
It's only a 3, so it'll be a 15. So I probably don't see anything.
No?
Oh,
No, you do see
I
something.
see something!
15 was very important.
Okay.
As you look around, you see that tapestries have been added in this half dome where the altar is housed underneath the dome above. And there is writing on it that is, for lack of a better word, in a language that you recognize but cannot read. It is in that sort of Enochian celestial. It is not similar to what you've seen in the book, but it is definitely words of power, just not something you've seen.
Okay. I take note of it so I can tell my siblings afterwards. And I head to Salviati's room.
All right, you make your way to Salviati's room. Your footsteps making down the stone corridor.
We have planned, Brad.
Nothing.
Everything. As you get closer, you can hear the scratching of a quill. The camera pulls away from you and moves through the door over Salviati. Most Holy Father Sixtus, our plan comes now to fruition on this day of redemption and rebirth. The first family of Florence think themselves our equals after one, albeit successful, raid of our coffers. On the night I freed us from their silver chains, nonetheless. Some of their agents had managed to steal the staff of Moses, the divine tragedy, the indictment of Jesus, and the first light. A heavy loss, but something we will easily be able to reclaim once we send for their judgment upon high. Pray for us, most heavenly Father, that tomorrow at High Mass our great work comes to fruition. I have taken all the steps, written all the missives, prepared our heralds, and procured our financiers. All that is left to do is cull the unworthy. I have even taken steps to ensure divine light shines down upon us to push back the dark and bring them screaming into its illumination. I appreciate all you have given, even your familial robe and the sword of Jophiel to the cause. No, I will not fail you, or our Lord above. Your humble servant, Francesco Salviati. And that's where we're going to take a little break. Hey guys, it's John here. I'm just chiming in to let you know we cut here for the night. It ended up being a super long session, so we broke it into 2 parts. Please follow us on Instagram at HeroCast_ATX and on TikTok and Threads at HeroCastATX. We also even have an email, which is HeroCastATX@gmail.com. Lastly, you can join our Discord that is linked in our description below. This is So You Want to Be a Hero signing off. Stay heroic out there, guys.